Let's get into it. 1, 2, 3.
Hey, well, hello, and welcome to My Whiskey Den, your favorite public access whiskey review show where craft whiskey is king. Thank you for stopping in this evening, where tonight we'll be discussing banana liqueurs in depth. No, I'm just kidding. That's not what's happening.
How dare you, sir?
I'm not gonna make it. Banana is one of my least favorite flavors on the face.
We already did white girl whiskey once. It ain't happening again.
It was bad. There was a couple bad things in there too. That was not a good evening. It's not good. I do like that one.
I mean, you swept me off my feet. What can I say? But I already have plans for Friday night, and I can't cancel.
Oh, well, that's fair.
Does it involve somebody whose name rhymes with Lorgan?
It does not, actually.
Oh. Jeez.
Yeah.
Now we're all intrigued. We'll have to see.
Yeah, no kidding.
We can pry this out of him before the end of the show. So, but hey, before we go any further, Mike, would you like to tell people about the Bar Cart Co-op before we drift into our discussion this evening?
I'm faunching at the bit to talk about the Bar Cart Co-op. So the Bar Cart Co-op is a collection of friends who create content for the whiskey and other distilled spirits public. The Bar Cart Co-op YouTube and Facebook pages have information about upcoming and past special shows, which happen about every quarter, from blind tastings to distiller panels to educational and fun episodes for your enjoyment. I don't know what the next upcoming show is, but one of those people is here in the chat, so maybe he'll jump in before I get done. Then we'll move on to Distiller's Talk, which is the oldest show in the group, hosted by Alan Bishop and Christy Atkinson. It's conversation with people from distilleries and distillery adjacent. It gets into the weeds with their interviews. New episodes arrive at the end of your work week. And if that's not nerdy enough, check out One Piece at a Time Distilling Institute, where Alan Bishop answers any questions about distillation and often puts them to the test. It could be individual grains, mash bills, equipment, and methodology. New episodes come out randomly, so subscribe on the YouTube. And then we have, there we go, Bourbon Turntable, where they mix the love of whiskey with the love of music, and I will be able to speak at some point. They have conversations with musicians, writers, distillery folks, and common folks about music and whiskey. It releases every Wednesday on all your platforms, including YouTube. And maybe he'll say what the next episode is going to be. But because it appears that Kevin's holding all the cards here in the chat. So
it's an absinthe show, March 14th.
Well, that's for Bar Cart Co-op.
That's for Bar Cart Co-op. Okay. Sorry. Well, yeah, we'll make sure. Yeah, that'd be sweet. Okay. And then we have If You Have Ghosts, You Have Everything, which is a show about spirits and the paranormal among us, as well as the unexplained and the spiritual. Subscribe on Spotify to get the 3 previous seasons and the newest season, which actually Kevin was a ghost on, Kevin was a guest on, and it's really good. So I haven't had a drop of anything yet, and I'm not good. Anyway, and then Lisa Niskanen of Barrel Strength Talent. That should be a very interesting conversation as well. And then also there is another he's got a special one with a blind with Jim Beam coming up as soon as Jim Beam releases what they talked about that he couldn't release yet because they'd already talked about it. If that makes any sense, and it probably doesn't. Okay, finally, last but not least, we have Whiskey in My Ring podcast, where David Lamine talks to people in the industry and some that are just industry adjacent. Gets really good interviews with his guests, and also if you want to read reviews and stuff, David does some really good reviews of things. Speaking of the Absinthe Show, before I forget, I think we'll probably put it up 5 or 6 more times.
Yeah.
But that's the link right there. I'll actually, you know what? I'll throw it in the comments again.
Yes, that helps all those
for the. Oops. You tell I'm from the Midwest. Oops. Yeah. So there's Whoa. Gotta go. So then so this is the 3+ years in the making Absinthe documentary that Brian Cushing and Alan Bishop are working on. And check it out. It is free on the YouTube and pretty darn cool. So it's less than an hour long. So watch it.
It's in like the Masterpiece Theater, kind of like a PBS style.
3 times from different accounts.
That's always a good thing. Do you have to watch it from different accounts? You can just rack it up.
So it counts. I mean,
Oh.
Otherwise, it's just you.
Well, I mean, if it's just you doing it, what if you watch something like 6 times and think it's great?
I would imagine the metrics, though, would show individual users versus repeat watchers.
Oh, I'm sure, probably.
Yeah. Same thing with the metrics that get messed up where the people find the other copycat My Whiskey Den channel versus
that's always nice. Those channels are always so nice to look things up before they do things. That's okay. Because you could never do that.
And yes, Bourbon Turntable, that show has in fact been released. The If You Have Ghosts, You Have Everything episode just came out.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, there I go, clicking stuff again.
Southwest Florida. Nice to see you, Kyle.
Well,
he's probably in a warmer place than all of us, even though it's not too bad here today. So I can't complain.
It got up to 70 here today.
Yeah, we were upper 70s.
Yeah.
And stagnant. The air was stagnant. We went from a lot of wind this weekend to just stagnant, warm air. Not cool.
We're still not there yet. So I can only hope we get there. So I'm going to apologize for last week, but I'm going to get started here just because I was not feeling well and I'm still not 100%. So I'm not going to be sipping on too much other than water or Gatorade this evening, but I hope to be 100% and ready to roll in the next week or so. So we're just going to be hanging out, chilling this evening. We also, a week in April, we'll be having Alan and Brian Cushing on to discuss the movie that they released, but a little more in depth because I know they both, like you said, it took 3 years. There was a lot into it. There was a lot of steps. It was very involved and very purposeful, following historic steps. So we'll be talking with them as well too in April.
Yes.
Right. So I also have not been 100%, so I am going to be sipping lightly on what I would imagine someone would say is medicinal. So cheers to Malort.
Whoa, you're trying to clear out everything.
My friend Matt found someone that got like some Malort special where it was aged Malort.
Oh yeah,
bourbon barrels.
That was like, let me rephrase that. I also saw thick Malort, so I'm not entirely sure where they mixed it with that like Pedialyte thick water.
I don't like this.
Dude, I sent y'all a little screenshot or something on Facebook just because I was like, well, yep, it gets worse.
Yeah, that's not.
But I wonder though if that would stop it from permeating through your skin. If it would just, since we're over 5 minutes and I am who I am. If it would slide down like mucus is what I'm wondering. If it would be like a Malort mucus ball.
Well, that's what I was gonna say. I'm like, when you put that thickener in it, is it going to be like Jello or more like kind of?
I don't know, right? It's one of those like, for folks who don't hydrate well enough. So it's like super hydrating water.
I'm dehydrated and I hate myself.
Yeah. Just sucks the Malort right into you.
Yeah.
That's just
fill the opposing team's water jugs with the anyway.
Oh, that'd be all right. I think I can handle it. So I'm sipping on a corn whiskey we had from when we did our tasting. I think it was the 9-month-old. That was from some hillbilly reverend. That's what I think it was.
Those are the best kind of reverends.
Mm-hmm.
I started with none. I couldn't get the stupid bottle open, so I'm having instead. This is my third pour because now you can buy Golden Beaver online someplace other than Sealbox. God, I can't talk tonight.
Yes. Feel better.
Just throwing in extra letters and syllables and all kinds of stuff. Dear God. No, but this is single barrel. This is the barrel 58 of the single barrels of the 4 grain, including the rye. And this one is the one that is hardcore butterscotch. So I'll get that sent out to you guys.
I don't know if I have that one. I have a few of theirs, so I enjoy
now,
that.
This is this one that it just got released. So now if you order from Golden Beaver, it ships through the MASH networks, since you can't ship out of California. And Sealbox does not have a lot of their stuff, but it's fine because they shipped pretty quick. So
that's fine. I just hate all the hippity hopping. Hey Paul, how's it going? Good to see you in the chat. Oh, so let's see here. What happened? Is there anything that's come up in the whiskey world since we last saw each other? I know. In one of the chats, I saw that bourbon finally started to take a downturn.
Yeah,
and open distilleries for the first time, and it happened a little bit earlier this year, but this is the first time I took a real dip, apparently, which I'll be honest, I find to be 6 years later than I expected. Like, there's been, in my mind, unprecedented growth. Like, everybody was getting money from a bank to open a distillery. I just don't know how it was going to keep going. So I expected a little bit of this shortening or a little bit of the fall kind of happening here. I don't really think it's going to go as tragically jumping off the ledge right away as some people would think, but I expect it to kind of trend that way for a bit, just because there's a lot. There's hell, man. They're like breweries. I don't know how much can America drink. Really, is where I'm at. I don't know how much America can drink. It's a lot. If you're doing distilleries like breweries where you're going to become hyper regional, that's a lot of support from a local area. You know, I don't know. Sorry, that kind of played around in my head.
Yeah,
it is and it isn't, right? If you have a good tasting room, aka like if you run a bar out of your distillery and you run a good bar out of your distillery, your bar makes your money, right? Like, because so let's say you're not trying to be the most artisanal, grain to glass everything. You have the opportunity of just getting totes of GNS and, as close to rum neutral spirits as you can, proofing it down and then making drinks out of something that costs you $1 a bottle.
That's disturbing.
It's gone up a little bit.
That's not right.
Yeah.
Oh. No, I have not tried anything from Waterford Stillhouse. That is interesting. To be honest, I hadn't heard of them. I'll have to put them on the little notepad.
Since they're talking about Distill America, I'm wondering if anyone bought the VIP.
The super VIP or the normal?
The super where you got to do extra tasting. It's different this year than last year, because last year was like, oh, the special tasting, and I did it, and I wouldn't have done it again.
I don't. I just get the hour early. I think that's my jam. is getting in there when there's not too many people and getting to wander around wherever I want.
Yeah,
so
it's fair.
I always like that. But no, I did not go for the super one. Oh, well, look at
Okay,
this.
yes, I did.
Yeah.
I bought the VIP for Distill America. Yeah, I saw that. Congratulations,
Yeah, nice,
John.
John. He's had a whole list of things going his way this year. It's a good year for John.
Yeah.
I like that.
John's just a nice guy.
Yeah.
He really is. So I went to a bar here in town called Bar Expo. And of course, like, you see John immediately because his personality is bigger than any room can contain. And like, there were at least 3 bourbon bros like talking to him, and he was just out there with his girlfriend, like trying to have a drink. And I felt so bad for him. And it was just like, wow, so maybe sometimes it is really nice to just be an introverted kind of old crank. And like, I asked him, like, I already got my drink. I'm going to go sit down and talk to my girlfriend. Bye. So I felt a little bad, but also I enjoyed it.
Whiskey czar. Before he was getting married, he was a whiskey pimp. I mean, just the jackets he'd show up in. Damn, he looked like he was coming off a Seinfeld episode once or twice.
He's got a glass that says it.
I know. So, sorry, I don't know what's.
Where's Bar Expo, the vampire bar?
Oh, I've never gone to that bar. There's a vampire bar in Louisville, or was it Lexington?
I didn't know that was the name of it. I just knew it as the vampire bar, where things just got really weird before we went in, while we were in, and after we were there.
Really? Oh, well, I mean, that does kind of make sense. They are open till 4 a.m. So, like, that's
the fact that all the lighting was blood red, and I thought that I was in a bad remake of Blade 2, didn't help.
Was there techno music?
No,
there was not.
They've changed it. The back half is all green now. I think some of their red Christmas lights burnt out, and they got them in a 2-pack.
Okay.
Well, that really, I don't know, man. That doesn't make me want to go. It makes me feel like vampires fail.
So the lighting, atrocious. I love them, but you need more than red Christmas lights. But the drinks are some of, if not the best cocktails I've ever had in my life.
Okay.
To the point, they actually created the Louisville cocktail.
The Louisville cocktail?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so, what's in a Louisville?
I don't remember.
Okay.
It's not my favorite cocktail they have there. My favorite cocktail they have there is actually, I believe, a brandy cocktail. So...
Hey, if I like if places make cocktails I like, half the time they're way too sugary for me. I still like to taste booze in my drinks. So
yeah, they're really good about that. They do not do like pina coladas and stuff like that. Like the drink I like, I forget what it's called. So there is the Acid Cat, which is a really fun one, but mine is like a brandy drink that they put a tobacco spritz over the top. Wow. And it's so good.
Okay, I thought you said tobacco spit for a second.
Not quite. It could be the Malort talking.
That would be funny though. Someone's right in the top of it, like, what the fuck was that?
I asked them, I was like, how the hell do you make a tobacco spritz? And they're like, well, you take pipe tobacco and you treat it like tea and you brew it. And I was like, doesn't that super concentrate the nicotine? And if you drank it, it would kill you? And they're like, yeah, that's why it's only a spritz. I was like, all right, okay, there we go. Same page. All right, great, perfect.
Mitch is watching someone pour extra in. Would you like a little more? Yeah. That's interesting. I don't know if I've ever heard of that. So
no, but so Expo is super sketchy looking. Like the only the only signage they have anywhere is on the front door, and it's just EXPO in like mailbox letters, like the little like glowy silver with black. That's
Yeah.
it. Their website doesn't exist. All they have is an Instagram. They don't answer questions on it or, you know, respond. They have a phone, I think. Probably not. Like, it's one of those places where
Yeah, that's way sketchier than what I was thinking. I was like, part of me was thinking like $7,000 in Austin when you're a couple blocks away from. Well, you know what I mean. Like you look the wrong way, or you're like, oh, and you didn't. I wouldn't have thought it was what it was before you go inside. You
so
know
this
what I mean?
isn't like in a sketchy neighborhood or anything. It's on Main Street, which, you know, has all the downtown problems that downtown will have. But like, it's one of those places. I went in the first time I was there, and I was like, "Is this Bar Expo?" And they're like, "Yeah." And I was like, "Okay, am I allowed to be in here?" And they went, "Yeah." And I went, "Okay." And then I sat at the bar and like had some of the best cocktails of my life. But the first time I went there, I was like, is this where I get shot? Like, I don't know what's going on.
Yeah. When we walked by it, we walked up. My first thought, based on the red lights and everything else, was From Dusk Till Dawn.
You're not wrong. And they have a skeleton sitting in the corner that they dress up for holidays. So he's probably wearing all green now.
Good for him. I like that. Now I have never been there, so now I feel like that's a new attendance. I have to make it. I've never been to that one.
Yeah, and it's amazing in every way except for the lighting.
Yeah, it was a bit much.
Yeah, well, that's fair.
I sit out back now. They have like a giant, or not a giant, but a pretty decent beer garden with, you know, like 5 or 6 picnic tables. So I just go out there.
Ooh. Sorry. Shoulder just made a noise it wasn't supposed to make, I don't think.
You're falling apart.
Maybe on a few fronts. Could be a couple fronts. I'm still not all there. But we will.
But let's see here.
So you did get tickets to Distill America.
I did.
Okay.
Do I want to? Yes. Can I? No. Thank you for bringing up all these awesome things I can't do.
You know Kevin's going to go around and take pictures of him being there and post them like, oh, if only Mitch could have came.
Yeah, just like Mitch could be here. Like just, you know, have like a little, I'd say take out a, you know, life-size little poster of me and just like show me all, you know, take pictures of me doing all the things I could have had fun doing, but
Flat
realistically don't want to take my ugly mug around anywhere.
I like that.
There's not a cardboard cutout of Mitch that I am aware of.
Not yet.
There could be one.
Sure.
I was trying to think if there, with Mitch doing his tastings and such, if we were ever to put on a tasting, if it should be called a Weddling.
So I did that. I did a podcast with Randall, the whiskey shaman, and he put it out, and the title is "Never Go Full Weddle." So I
did you hurt someone? Did you give someone enough whiskey did you hurt the shaman?
I did not.
Okay.
So he was still not drinking when we did it because he was, I guess, in recovery. He can talk about it, right?
Yeah, that's fine.
Tell his business. But he wasn't drinking during it, so I think he's heard stories though.
I think it's fair to go. I think that I like names of things that have a little like ring to it, you know. I just so many times it's like a bourbon pairing. Stop out. Like it doesn't really get you too excited. Now, if you're going to be weddled, Now that just brings up all sorts of questions. A, what is it? Now you have to find out. It's. I think I like it. I don't know.
We need to put it in Urban Dictionary.
Yes. You can do that? Does that just go to the normal dictionary? Because I don't really think there's a difference anymore.
Yeah. Well. Excuse me.
Okay. That's too tasty. I'm not supposed to be having that much of that. It's actually really nice. I'm getting to the point where I'm enjoying it, and that's probably not good.
So there's the link for the Never Go Full Weddle YouTube link.
Which is in the chat. It's also on there. That way you can find it easier.
It's a great state of being. I don't recommend it.
You gotta do it. I think getting weddled is an earlier in the day thing. It's an afternoon thing, so you can get dinner afterwards.
Getting weddled requires food, like before, during, and after, if at all possible.
Aw, Miss Kelly, it's good to see you.
I went down to Winchester the other day. Hey.
Did you bring her a 30-pack of coolers?
I did not bring her a 30-pack of Coors. I did have a 24-pack of Spotted Cow in the trunk, though.
Oh, well, I guess that's a little
and
better.
Also a case of liquor that I shared with in the parking lot of Regeneration Distillery with one of the workers.
Mitch never goes anywhere with an empty trunk.
What can I say? I've got the best badonkadonk you've ever seen.
Well, you'll never be accused of murdering and dragging anyone anywhere. It's like, officer, clearly, there's no more room in this trunk. It's clear full of alcohol.
It's full of alcohol. He'll look at me and be like, walk a straight line. But on whiskey-related notes, went to Regeneration, got a weeded rye whiskey, so that's fun.
How
really weird.
Does it give you the percentages?
So I unfortunately got in like really close to the end and was like, please can I just taste some things and possibly buy something? And they were like, yes. But I didn't have a whole lot of time to ask questions.
That's fair.
But I also went to RD1's
okay.
tasting room, and they had a kind of one of their experimental, I guess, things going on there. So if you go there, you can bottle your own 200 ml for way too much money. But they had a pecan finished bourbon.
Okay.
That was interesting.
Yeah, I once thought, I don't know how well I'd do with it, but I can see how there would be a large section of people that might, or maybe doing that with, I don't know, I'm trying to get like a pie, like maybe a peachy whiskey or a peachy liqueur with it. I don't know.
So pecan wood doesn't taste like pecan nuts, if that makes sense.
Do you think anyone's ever done the nuts? Like roasted the nuts?
Oh yeah, I mean, yeah,
the wood.
I think Gary Heingardner has done pecan wood on a whiskey. I could be wrong on that.
I don't want the wood.
But it's also a safe bet that Gary probably has done something like that.
Fucking Kelly.
So for me, it's interesting because it's slightly astringent and it's not really that nutty. It's I don't know. I have some, right, because it's a 200 ml, but you'll have to eventually come here and try some.
Well, we can make that happen. I can handle that.
You say that.
Black London. Hey, I did, and I will again. You know, I'd like to have a longer trip when I go sometime, like a month. Yeah. And Ranger Creek, yeah, that's true. That might be something I might end up getting down there at some point this year, just because of the way some things are going. I may end up heading towards San Antonio at some point, or Austin, depending upon where you land. But I'd rather go see Josh. I haven't been to Ranger Creek yet. I know there's other ones in the area, but
yeah. I went down to San Antonio and spent like almost a full week down there, but their tasting room was only open on Saturday. And Saturday was the day that like I drove from San Antonio to Austin because I was going to the Bastards Ball. So it was like, yeah, sorry, I never got to visit you. I wish I could have. And he looked at me and he's like, he asked 2 questions. And he's like, wait, you mean you're not local? And the second thing was, why didn't you stop by anyway? So I was like, oh, wow, you're really cool. Thanks, man. But
yeah, I know. I saw that too, that Josh was, after his hiatus, has returned. Thank God.
Yeah.
That was a good decision. But you know what? I think that's a good decision for him. Sometimes you do need to walk away and take some time to yourself to see where stuff is at. And I think he did the right thing for himself and his family. So
yeah, smart decision on the distillery's part too.
Yes.
You know.
Well, I know I was critical of the decision.
Yeah.
Practice, but yeah, whatever. Glad to see him back and seeing some stuff coming out again that he's in charge of. So yeah, that's part of the reason I'd like to get back down there. And if that's right in the middle of April 8th is when that the solar eclipse is.
Yep.
And I was in the Dallas and the kind of section down there. There's a lot of distilleries that fall right in that path that go through there. So I probably won't make it there for that, but I was like, that would be something I'd go to, or go to a distillery, take a day off, take the Monday off.
Well, the area,
experience it, and
area around Spirits of French Lick, and then the up and coming homestead.
Yes,
that's I don't know if they'll have a distiller by then or not, but they have a distillery.
Yeah, it's going together well.
Yeah,
they did put out an open invite to apply. I was tempted, just for fun. I mean, there's a
brewery, there's a hotel with furniture coming in, brand new hotel, and a distillery. It just needs someone to distill.
Yeah,
but yeah, I saw that too.
At it, but Indiana, my
least
favorite state that Kentucky borders, and we border West Virginia, so that really should say something.
Oh, Renita's lucky. That's cool. Yeah, everyone go to Renita's house.
Yeah, there you go.
So I was looking up a map, trying to see what all will be in the path of total eclipse here in Kentucky.
I think you're still supposed to be able to see it wherever in the U.S.
It's like 10-degree angle up across the United States. Supposed to the last time which went across.
So it looks like Owensboro will be in it. So if you want to go to Green River or the not open to the public Sazerac distillery over there, that would be somewhere to watch it.
Show up to the event and tell them they're having it. Start posting it online. We're going to the thing over here at Sazerac. Come on.
We had the last one that was August 2017. Right? Yeah, I think that's right. And we had 25 miles south of the totality of that one, but it decided to be overcast for over half of the day. So the people around Lathrop, I think, is where the totality was. They had all this stuff planned, and it had rained, and it was overcast. But then it did clear off. It just wasn't a day-long celebration. So.
Fair enough, but no, that's something I'm looking forward to. I think that'd be a cool day. I like you said, the last time I think I got a chance to experience one, I think I was overcast and crappy, and I didn't get to see it. And that's just not fun.
Yeah.
So, hi, Cap. Sorry.
Let's see here. I was working at the cooperage when it happened.
They give you a little break.
They said we could go out and look at it, but the thing is,
aren't you not supposed to do that?
That was the thing. We didn't think we'd be able to. So like 0 people had like the glasses. So like the maintenance crew brought out welding masks.
That's awesome.
Nice. Pass those around. The problem was, since there were only like 4 welding masks and like 100 people, like we were out there for a very much longer than we should have been. And since it was a union job, it was like, all right, we'll go back in. Like, you still have to hit your number. And it was just like, oh crap. You know,
But there's an eclipse.
3 minutes.
Oh, sorry. Cat's being mouthy over here. Sorry about all the noise. So, no, other than that, I don't have too much. I was gonna say, basically, around here, basketball is starting up. Girls state basketball, and the boys basketball team around here went from the statistically one of the worst teams in college basketball last year to having like 18 wins this year. So, but they crapped out the last like 5 games of the season. But you know what? Hey, that's one of the better turnarounds. So I don't know. I'm just scheduling some stuff with my dad, getting him out of the house to see some basketball.
Cool.
He's not a drinker, so I can't just like, hey, let's go booze it up. Let's go have.
My folks just got a camper, so now they're decorating it before they take it out on its inaugural little
camping. A camper, or is it like an RV home where you?
It's a camper. I forget how long it is. You know, it hooks onto the back of the truck.
Mm-hmm.
Queen size bed though.
We should get a little space. Some of those people who drive those, they're huge.
Oh, that's
huge.
I want to get one of those that are so obnoxious. You're like, don't you have a special license for this? And you just go, nope. And then just drive it around and like have a work from home job. And, you know, it's like, are you working from home? Yes. My home just happens to have, you know, like 9 or 10 wheels and goes in the direction I point at. Hey.
Yeah.
Well, cheers to that. That's very
congratulations.
Cool. Tell him congratulations too.
Somewhere else I should probably be on Friday. Unfortunately.
Watch out. Kevin's going to invite you to the graduation.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Hold on.
So I'm going to have some Fascination Street, continuing on my mildly medicinal kick.
Oh, in honor of the earlier mentioned John Wadle.
I just spilled booze all over. That's why I'm not supposed to be drinking.
Yeah, give it to the cat.
Yeah.
It might have a little.
Like dogs have cheese tax, cats have booze tax.
Woo. That is hot and a little spicy. Oh, it's just leaving a mark on me right now. That's awesome though, Renita. Yeah. Safe travels. Hopefully it goes nice and smooth. And you get to, I don't know, have a nice celebration when you're out.
Yeah. Congratulations. That's awesome. Let's see here. Oh,
really?
Copper Fox. Can't remember.
I can talk about something that didn't quite happen super recently, but it did happen, and I think it's really juicy.
Okay.
Do tell.
The Brown-Forman cooperage sold to Independent Stave Company. I don't remember if we talked about this too.
I didn't talk about. I saw that.
Yeah, but I saw it.
I wonder why.
Yeah.
Oh. So nothing is confirmed, but when I worked at Brown-Forman, right, we had all the old things that were no longer OSHA approved, and we were putting out about 3,000 barrels a day. And then they went, hey, we're upgrading and we're going to go to computerized and automated systems, and we're going to let go of like a third of y'all. And they let go of about a third of us, and their barrel production went down over 50%. And they updated it to the same stuff that the Jack Daniels cooperage was using.
Yeah. That's what I heard. It was, yeah.
So that cooperage never worked well. Like they were brought on so that they could kind of twilight the one here in Louisville, right? Because we were a union shop and like it was honestly a craft. Like you had to know what you were doing and stuff like that. Whereas, once they got rid of a lot of that stuff, it was just machine operation, right? You didn't really need to know the craft as much.
Yeah.
And it never worked. Like they needed a higher quality of wood than they were getting. They needed, less turnover. They needed a whole lot of stuff and they could never make it work. So they finally gave up and sold it to ISC. And that's all hearsay and speculation, right? So,
and what do you think ISC is going to do to maybe correct those possible issues? Do you think they'll just take it over and close it just to be a dick?
So the thing is, ISC also bought the mills from Jack Daniels, but they also have a lot of other mills, so they can funnel the higher quality wood that Jack Daniels couldn't get to that cooperage and make it work that Jack Daniels couldn't. And then they've still got their other cooperages that, can use the slightly lower quality wood, and they can use, like experience and expertise to actually make it work.
So are those the better quality wood barrels? Do you think those are going to cost more?
Yes, but no, but yes. So it's all the better quality wood is all in the milling. Okay. So it's one of those things where Jack Daniels did not do a good job controlling the quality of wood that came out of their mills. So if ISC does that, they won't have a problem at all. And because it is machine operation rather than, like cooperage, like kind of 1930s, like one of these days we'll have to do, there's a video from like the 40s or 50s of a cooperage in Canada. And 80% of the stuff they were using in there, like, is what we used to make barrels. And like, I don't know, comment over it or whatever we have to do.
I think we can do that.
YouTube to make
it's
sure
educational.
It works. But yeah. So Jack Daniels, good luck. Brown Foreman, What? Lone Elm lost their distiller.
Yeah, I hadn't heard that either. I was just going to bring that up. That's kind of sad because they're an excellent weeded whiskey.
Yeah.
I love Lone Elm. Like, I talk about them all the time. As
Mitch, there's an opening.
Yeah, there's an opening, Mitch.
Dallas, here I come. I hear it's real cheap to live down there.
Just live outside.
In a tent? Or
yeah, that's about the only thing I could really afford it. Like, hey, y'all aren't using that parking spot, are you? Okay, cool. Hire me and let me live there. I'll put my tent up.
Can I just park behind the distillery? So I'm gonna leave this here. But didn't Hunter do that? He had his RV parked behind the distillery for a while, which is actually a really good idea, to be frankly honest. Because how many nights would I just be? Do you think you get done exceptionally late and you're like, I don't really want to drive home an hour or two to drive, waste another hour or two to drive back and I just would rather go to sleep, and it is what it is.
Something I've been looking at because I want to get back in the distilling industry, and a lot of the places that are hiring are like a 2-3 hour drive away. And it's like, okay, is it worth it to buy a crappy camper and a crappy truck and drive down there on like Monday and spend 2 nights and then come back and see Morgan, on like Wednesday, and then go back out and spend Thursday night and then pull it on back on Friday?
You didn't want to work with bourbon bros.
Nobody does.
Yeah. But no, Fortney. I feel like there was a good restaurant in Fortney too, on one of those diners, drive-ins, and dives, or like one of those.
I'm sure there is. I'm sure there's a hell of a cafe there.
Sorry, I think it's a burger joint. Now I'm gonna have to go look after this. So I like that. I don't know. I don't have too much else at the moment. I don't.
So I sent
Okay.
out a
What?
bejesus load of samples
Oh my god.
and missed a lot. So we can do multiple 451 tastings. And then I've got some for Alan, but he's not like in state right now. So we might be able to wrangle him on some of the more fun botanical ones. Sent out a lot of the Toledo spirits.
Toledo Spirits Show. Once we get these, we'll post that because I want to drink those.
And then I have to retract something I said. So I went to Jephthah Creed, and I got some of their red, white, and blue bourbon, and it's really effing good. Like, I quite enjoy it.
How old was it?
Yeah.
I want to say 5 or 6 years.
Wow. Okay.
Because there was a period there where there was somebody else
Making their
helping out
product.
that might have made stuff taste better.
Yes.
So that does make sense. But also, that bottle of bourbon. So I had one of their earlier stuff, and it was a little floral and wasn't my thing. This one, I do enjoy. So
I don't know. That's awesome.
not quite, but I do want to be fair. It's really fun to dogpile and poo on things, and that's why I went back there.
I was hoping that I would have liked, as I was hearing stuff about it, and then when the first time I tried it, it was like, it just I didn't get it. And then the next time I got to try it, the nose was not good at all. Like,
Okay,
it was
that
just
must have been the one.
not good.
Yes.
But
That's the one we were on.
yeah, it didn't taste as bad as what the nose was, but there was something about me. It was just way.
For me, it's always had like a funky mineral thing to it too.
Well, this could have been more on the lines of sulfur stagnant on the nose,
Yeah.
like just a whiff that it was just not, something wasn't right. Anyway.
So I think that there was either a bottling or a period of time where it was like something went wrong or something. And I think they either got past that or fixed it or something.
Good.
This worked out pretty well.
I don't want to see anyone go under, except for people that lie. But no, because you deserve it. If you're going to lie about stuff, you deserve it. But you like to see people of all types, no matter who owns the business. But you want to see them making good whiskey and putting out good stuff and surviving and making an imprint somehow. So
we all have a sample in your box coming towards you, so it might be fun to A/B compare if you still have that old bottle.
I don't know if I do. I might have a little bit of it. It was a sample because there was two of them, and I remember one I was not.
Yeah,
I was not a fan of the one. I mean,
yeah, that second one I had, that bottle might still exist at Kevin's unless he's used it to kill some weeds or something.
Well, you got to use it.
Which is not a statement on the distillery as a whole. It is a statement on that release. It was not good.
That one bottle of that. It's not like you're guaranteed everything from Boone's is bad.
Well, and yeah.
Sorry,
Boone's was 0 for 1 and dishonest. So
the dishonest was like 3 checks.
And confrontational.
Yeah, what's that mean? They were like 3 checks of
in
the negative realm of that. But I'm sorry, but if everyone doesn't know, Ben did offer to help him afterwards. Nicely, politely reply a letter. Did offer to help them if they ever wanted help, and they have not.
No, you
Which
don't
looking back,
homegrown. You don't put homegrown all over your bottle, large, when you're not making it yourself. You don't promote it as your own. You don't call it homegrown when you're not making it, and then claim that you're making it while your dad says, "Nah, we don't make it."
but no, that looking back, don't you think he would have rather have had Ben give his 2 cents to help him?
Possibly, yeah.
Seeing where
But
people
then again,
are. Yeah. Well,
and again, he got picked. He got picked for some sort of award, and Fred Minnick picked something, or picked him to be part of Bourbon and Beyond, or something like that.
yeah,
So, whatever, man. Well, whatever.
Ask me how much I know about this. The answer is pretty much none. So.
Do you want to invest in my stuff? It's not very good. Sorry.
You can invest in Andalusia right now, and their stuff is really good.
Yeah, their stuff is
excellent. Yes, it is.
So if you were going to, go do that.
I looked at it seriously, but it's one of those things where I was like, man, if I'm trying to have a job in the industry, owning shares in another distillery might be kind of one of those frowned upon things.
Yeah. Well, depends upon how many, I guess.
Put him in Morgan's name.
Yeah. There you go. Now you're doing. See, now you're thinking.
Oh yeah, let's commit almost tax fraud. That sounds great. Just 2 steps away.
Are you married? You're not married yet, right? See, it's not fraud yet.
Well, I don't mean put it. I mean, Morgan can invest in it. I mean, you can loan her the money to invest in it. That's not tax fraud.
Kevin, do you have a? Can you give us? Is it tax
yes?
fraud?
Yeah, Kevin, would you chime in on this one?
We don't. I don't think it is.
He'll say Rule 34A strictly.
I think it's because they're not married. I think it's legal.
I think because I'm putting something that's mine under her name for benefit, it is illegal because the government never wants the best for you. They want the best for them.
All right. Well, fair enough. I was ready to cheat for you too. So
that is what it is.
Some of my best bros work for the IRS. The IRS buys plans.
You can grease some wheels.
Yeah, I hear bribery's their favorite thing over there at the IRS. Well, it goes over so well.
I don't think it goes over wrong though either. I'm pretty sure some people bribe. How about if I make a donation? Does that make everyone happy?
The Beverly Hills Cop 2 with Gilbert Gottfried. It's like, what would need to appear in this hand that would make this other hand go? R.I.P. Gilbert.
Is that an MB Roland bottle?
It is an MB Roland bottle. Could you smell it from over there?
I couldn't, but I saw the cap.
Yeah, I did put on a tasting last week. It was a fundraiser, and it was American craft whiskey tasting for a bunch of Scotch drinkers. Super nice guy. He built a whiskey snug in his basement, and if you walk down there, you think you're in a small English or Irish pub. But he is an Irish, certified Irish whiskey and stuff. He buys his Irish whiskey in Ireland, so it's all stuff you can't get around here. Anyway, he provided the venue, which was cool, but ended with MB Roland as the last pour. And it was tasting went very well, but yeah, people were very surprised. Everybody had the same question though. It's like, how are they smoking it? What's their secret? Like, well, that's just it. They don't exactly tell you. The corn is smoked. That's really all you need to know.
They tell you exactly how they do it. You take the tour.
Well, okay. I haven't taken the tour.
I can tell you right now.
All right, tell me. Yes, and yes, it is MB Roland.
Burn down 5 smoke shacks. Well, you don't burn down 5. You burn down 4, and 1 gets flattened by a tornado before you even get to use it. Then you take the other one, and what you do is you take a 4x4 and you cover it in sawdust, and then you light the end of this 4x4 and you let it smolder for 3 to 4 days, and then it'll go out. So then you do it again for another 3 to 4 days, and that's how you dark fire corn. So it is a 6 to 8 day process.
Wow.
All right.
Very cool. I like that.
See, I should have asked you.
Yeah. That's
What can I say? It's almost like I'm a little too big of a fanboy about them.
Well,
And there's I don't think that's a problem.
there's nothing wrong to remember that.
Yeah.
So. All right. Oh, 55. Damn, we're on an hour just like that. I didn't even realize it.
And just like that.
And just like that, it starts coming towards an end. But Whiskey Crusaders, I think, are on this evening, so you can stop over there and check them out.
Yeah, the opening is coming soon.
I was gonna
Whiskey Castle.
find when that's happening, because I was gonna say that's pretty neat for what they're doing. I was even gonna see if they want to come on and talk about that with our channel, just because it's when we talk about vacation destinations, that'd be something neat to do if you were going to Dallas or the area. Would be a very cool thing to do. So
yeah.
Other than that, I don't know. Keep your eyes out for Toledo Spirits Night. That's coming up.
That'll be a fun day.
I'm excited. I'm ecstatic.
Yeah, that'd be really fun.
March 23rd. I think I missed what I was talking about.
Whiskey Castle.
Whiskey Castle.
Yep.
Yeah, oh my God, that's the end of the month. That's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
So, all right, we'll keep an eye on that. So, and until next week, remember, it's not the size of the den that matters, it's the love of whiskey. Cheers, everyone out there.
Cheers.
What?